So good afternoon, my wonderful people. Thank you for listening to my previous video. So this is still your nurse Oluwaseyi, and this is another edition of our health talk. Today we'll be looking at a condition that is trending kind of in our society, and that is the case of cholera. Cholera everywhere. As of June 2024, it was announced by NCDC that there has been 53 deaths and 1,528 cases in 31 states in 107 across 107 local government area in Nigeria. So this tells us that it's a pandemic and it should be looked into, and that is why today we are looking at the condition cholera. Cholera. What is cholera? Cholera is a gastrointestinal infection and it is characterized by acute diarrhea. That means the person tends to be pooing from time to time. It is characterized by acute diarrhea and it is majorly caused by ingestion of food and or water that is contaminated. Contaminated food or water is a major issue that causes diarrhea, and it is caused by a bacterium that is called Fibro-cholerae. Fibro-cholerae, that is the bacterium that is responsible for cholera. So it primarily affects the small intestine and it can lead to severe dehydration and electrolyte imbalance if it is not attended to promptly. That means it is not a condition you can joke with. Cholera is it kills very fast. So it is a condition that we need to pay prompt attention to. And what causes, I said it earlier, that it is caused by a bacterium that is called Fibro-cholerae. Then it is also caused by contaminated food and or water. Then poor sanitation and inadequate water. Like if the particular water supply in your area is not safe, then at such a time like this, it is not even advisable to go for such water. So if in your area the source of water is not clean enough, then personally you can make efforts to ensure that your water is safe for both drinking and for cooking and for other household use. So we should pay close attention to the water supply. So another contributory factor is for people that stay in areas that are overcrowded and the water supply is not inadequate, they have poor hygiene, they are prone to cholera, so they should pay more attention to sanitation condition. But however, somebody can be staying in an estate and still have cholera. That means that it's an effort that we have to all have to work on the sanitation condition in your personal environment and in your general environment as a whole. Make sure you pay attention to it. So what are the types of cholera that we have? We have two major variants, and the first one is O1 cholera. This O1 cholera is the general one that we see worldwide, while we have another variant which is O139 variant, and this particular strain it emerged in Asia and it causes similar symptoms to O1 cholera. So what are the symptoms we see in a person that is suffering from cholera? The first one and the prominent one you see is that the first sign and symptoms can appear within 5 hours of infection. That means that a person that is infected now within the next 5 hours can start showing symptoms, or that symptom can vary between 5 hours and 5 days. That means that a person can have infection, a cholera infection, and it might not show until after 5 days. So it includes the first prominent one you see is profuse watery diarrhea. Watery diarrhea, and it is characterized by rice water stool. That means that a person can have diarrhea without having cholera, but this particular diarrhea is characterized by rice water stool. Then another symptom of it is vomiting. Then due to the loss of electrolytes in the body, the person can start feeling leg cramps, cramps around joints, joint pain, then rapid loss of water, rapid loss of body fluid, electrolyte imbalance, and so on. This can lead to dehydration. When the person pulls the skin to go is poor. That means that when you pull the skin of a person that is infected with cholera, the skin is supposed to return almost immediately. But this particular person, you are pulling the skin and the skin will just drag before it now returns for a very long time. This is not supposed to be. It might be a sign, a symptom of cholera. Then when you see the person's eye, you check the eyeball, you see sunken eyes. That means the person is dehydrated. The eyes will be sunken, the skin, to go is poor, and so on and so forth. Then the person can also suffer circulatory collapse and shock. That means the person can go into shock, and we know that when a person goes into shock, then it can transit into eternity, and that is why it is not a condition to joke with. Prompt action has to be taken. So how can I prevent cholera? This should be focused. Major problem health issues, the prevention of it will be determined by what causes it. So what causes cholera is poor outbreak, when there is poor water supply, inadequate safe drinking or use of water. That means that we should pay more attention to one, the sanitation, improve on sanitation and access to clean water, both your drinking water, your cooking water, water used for other household use should be clean and safe. Then another one that looks like it is our cooking environment, our cooking condition. Before, during, and after cooking, we must pay attention to our cooking area. Our food should be taken adequate care of. Even after cooking, we should pay adequate attention to our food. After cooking, don't just expose your food or leave the food unattended to, uncovered and all that. Your water should be covered, even if it is safe. Then when you get it into a container, please ensure you cover it and make sure that it is only clean vessels or clean cups, containers that is used to draw water from that big container. We all have our big drums in the house where we fetch water and all that, but please ensure that only clean containers, clean bottles, clean cups are used to fetch from that big drum. Then hygiene is very important, that we pay close attention to our hygiene, our food hygiene, our hand hygiene. And that is what I'm going to be talking about. Hand washing is a technique that, even though we don't pay attention to it, but it is a very important technique. Ensure that you wash your hands, like from time to time. When you go out and you come back, before, during, and after cooking, ensure you wash your hand. I remember when there was COVID, everybody was washing hand and washing hand, but where did we throw that particular culture? So hand washing culture is a very important culture that we need to pay close attention to. Wash your hands before, during, and handling food, and even after handling food. Ensure you wash your hand with soap and water. Then ensure that after using the toilet, make sure you wash your hand. And please, let's pay close attention to our children, especially the toddlers. They tend to pick things from the floor, put in their mouths. This can make them prone to cholera infection. Let's pay close attention to them. So another one, that a way to prevent cholera is by vaccination. There are oral vaccines all around. Now that there is outbreak of cholera, there the government, kudos to the government, because they are really trying and supplying vaccines to various avenues. So please avail yourself of this opportunity, go for vaccination. And how can cholera be managed? Okay, somebody around you, your child, you're already seeing signs of cholera. Please, it's not something to sleep on. Don't sleep on it. If the person can still tolerate, you can quickly make ORS, oral rehydration salts. And how can you make? You can get ready-made ORS But if you don't know how to make, you can also make homemade ORS, and this I will talk about in my next video. And I'm going to talk about the recommended WHO hand washing technique. I'm going to be teaching us on the recommended WHO, a World Health Organization hand washing technique. So if you have stayed to this point, I say kudos to you. But then before I come to an end, another way is it is managed through antibiotics, but go to the hospital if you notice that a person is having rice stool diarrhea. Please don't watch the person die. Please ensure that you rush the person to the hospital immediately, whether a child or an adult. It's not something to sleep on. Ensure that you quickly act, because a stitch in time saves nine. Thank you very much for watching this video, but you will not do well for me if you just watch this video and leave it away. Please ensure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ensure you like, you comment, share with other people so that they benefit from what you also benefited, because ignorance is a great disease, but once you know, you will not be caught unaware of a particular condition. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much. Until I come to you next, to your way next week again, I remain Nosoluwa Sheyi. Bye for now. Thank you.